shop. It is so cute. I would like to commission you to make a painting for me. I would like to have birds and flowers, and I want it to be full of color and full of life.
I cannot work under these conditions. I will do what I will do. You will get what you will get. Go, go. You will see. You will see.
Oh, okay.
All right, you guys, we are going to be doing the IOD Art Gallery episode 4 today, where we're tackling painterly roses and the birds, blossoms, branches. But these ones are going to be super artistic, but you can do it. We want you guys to stick with us. We're going to be using the Painterly Roses decor stamp, the birds, branches, and blossoms decor stamp, and some India ink with, what's that pen called?
A dip pen.
A dip pen. So you don't want to miss this one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We have a 9x12, two 9x12 pieces of sand smooth plywood.
Half inch.
Half inch. If you want to learn more about that, watch one of our other videos, IOD Art Gallery episodes 1, 2, or 3. We're on episode 4 right now. And we're gonna just base coat these. We've already sanded them, and we're using like a nice light aqua color.
Yes, it's a beautiful, like a robin egg.
Right.
Kind of.
And links to all of the products that we're using will be in the comments below.
Yes.
Okay. And you just want to get a nice thick but even coat and do some cross hatch like we usually do.
If you find you want to do more than one coat to build up that texture, that's going to be really helpful in this project.
Right. I'll need more paint than that. There we go.
So we're going to start by taking your two boards after they're completely dry, and we're going to butt them right up to each other because this is going to be our palette as we work, and then they'll result in two pieces. We're going to start with color blocking. We have a cream color here. We're essentially going to lay in very loosely some light colors and some light green colors that are going to kind of guide you and designate where we will then go in and do our stamping. So we are going to be using our Painterly Roses. So I'm literally going to kind of loosely making some clumps where we're going to make blossoms.
And these parts don't have to be perfect. Just you're literally just blocking in the area where you're going to get more detailed later.
Exactly. And then I'm going to kind of put these light areas where we'll have greenery as well. Now I'm going to take a little bit of light green.
Kind of an olive color.
Yeah, in fact, a little bit even lighter than that. I'm kind of blending on the fly. Just working it in. This is very loose. We're not worried about it being really anything, just kind of like a map that you're going to go back in a little bit and kind of sharpen it up and bring the form together, okay? So give yourself the freedom here just to kind of make like leaf marks. Not leaves. You're not doing this, you're doing
color blocking.
Color blocking, yeah. Okay, now we're going to go in and just start stamping like crazy, getting all the blossoms and leaves and branches and twigs
to really
and
form that detail.
Start bringing it together.
All right, you guys might remember in the IOD Art Gallery episode 2, we used the birds, branches, and blossom set, and we talked about why and how to cut them apart. So reference that. The link will be in the description below so that you can check that out. But we've done that already. We have them all spread out, but we actually are using 2 different sets. We're using the birds, branches, and blossoms, and we are also using the painterly roses. And we've done the same thing with that as well. We've just cut it right out on the backing. And the fun part about this painterly technique is that you can work with the paint being still a little bit wet, and the colors mixing and melding together are part of the fun.
Exactly.
So let's get started.
I'm gonna switch you places.
Okay.
Boop. Boop. Okay. We're going to start with our big blossoms here, and we're using this really soft pink. And we have a large thin mount that we are using kind of as a palette, and we have multiple brayers. Viewers, you can just wash your brayer off in between colors if you choose. For video, we're just...
It is kind of nice to have a few though.
It is.
Makes things easier.
This is a very soft color, and it's going to, I'm gonna put the bulk of the weight right here. Don't shift, lay it down, get your pressure so you have all your contact. And there you go. Now, I'm going to do that again. Now, one of the things that's so fun about this is you're literally just using your stamp almost like a brush. Think of it like a brush. So you're grabbing the different ones, going in with colors and just applying them. And that's why it's convenient to have them cut apart, so you're not mounting and remounting. Now, we are going to use a second color on the roses.
Fun detail
Isn't it
comes
fun?
out.
So we're going to take a little bit of this red, and I'm going to place it right next to this.
This is kind of a russety red.
Yes. You can also get really large pebbled silicone mats that work awesome. So you see here, we're just mixing right on the mat. I had the pale pink, and I brought in some of this russet red so that it's quite a few shades darker, and then we are going to apply that to this layer. And the nice thing is there's not you don't have to have this precise alignment or anything.
So you can see that we're just layering up, starting with the nice broad base coat and then layering up into the detail. That's pretty.
And you can see when you're mixing it right on the mat, you get variation on your application to your stamp, which just adds to the artistic feel of it.
All the colors are mixing together.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So we have a really bright yellow we're going to mix in here with some of the blossoms. And add in just some pops of bright yellow. This is going to, it looks really soft right now.
I like that color a lot.
And it's really beautiful. However, the net end result is going to be much more vibrant and have a little bit of a mixed media feel to it. Mm-hmm. Let's find something else to do yellow. Ooh, this is a fun one. Let's do this one. put it right here. Loving that.
All right, we are going to add some bits of bright red, a nice cherry red. Okay.
All the colors.
All the colors. I'm being very haphazard by doing it right on the piece.
But that's kind of the fun and beauty of doing these kind of mixed media style pieces, is that it's okay if you get.
Yeah, that's true. A little bit, a little chip of paint here or there
Yeah.
works.
Exactly.
Again, not shifting, lift up so you get that nice, clean, defined edge.
Awesome. Put a couple more. I like them.
I do too. I like that a lot.
Here. And then a couple over here.
Okay.
Let's pull that through. It's okay.
Like that.
Leave it. We did that on purpose.
That's all part of the plan.
I'm so glad you thought of doing that.
Right?
Yeah. That was actually my idea.
Okay. Over here, you think?
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, yeah. And do you know what else?
What else?
Let's do this little rosebud in red too. Boop. Awesome. Sweet.
Okay.
Now let's start laying in the green leaves.
Yes.
All right.
I love it when the leaves start to get defined and it just really brings the piece out.
Yes.
We have a couple different shades of green as well as some nice cream paint that can help blend out and give you numerous shades.
Totally. This is what's going to go there later, so I just want to kind
block
of
it off so we have space.
Exactly.
Okay.
What's fun about this one
Right there
is there's a little contour there for kind of putting up against the curve of your blossom so that it looks like it's coming from behind.
Natural blocking, natural
Exactly.
masking. And I'm actually putting the green paint right next to the yellow so that if I want to mix in a little bit of the yellow
Right,
with the brayer, that I can get even a different dimension to the color.
Right?
Right.
We've got so many leaves to choose from so that we can get them all. Now, another thing is we're not going to try to stay exactly on the ones that we made because these are going to be overlapping in different ways so that the net result is this beautiful painterly, really impressionistic. It's not like, we're not trying to get it exact.
Right.
So.
In fact, I find that the color blocking in the background almost looks like just a different layer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the background.
Let me try something real quick. This is a fun little, this is went a little bit heavy on there, but that's okay. This is the little bud part that you go over the little red thing that you made. Isn't that fun?
I love that.
Yes. Put some on there.
Okay.
And then we're gonna get just jiggy with the green leaves.
There you go.
Give yourself plenty of freedom to just get in there and stamp and not be fretting about any the placement or
precision
exactly
or perfection.
Exactly.
Just enjoy it.
Let's do a couple more of those. I love those.
I'm going to add a little bit more yellow in this one.
Okay. I'm putting this one on top of the bird as a placeholder and reminder that we want to use this because I love this blossom. It's funky and adds a quirky little
I do too.
thing to the mix.
I do too. I approve, so we shall do it. All right. There you go.
Awesome.
Place it where you want it.
I take it back. I want to do 2 more of these. I want to do this one and then I want to do a little dark green one of it.
Okay, I'm going to add this color into our green mix.
All right.
Then. This is like a
then
Kelly
do it.
green.
Then do
Would you
it.
say? I am.
Stop talking about it.
Just do it already.
Just do it.
All right. Our palette's getting kind of crowded, but I'll put it right about here.
Yes, and make sure that we still leave so we can still access that lighter green.
Mm-hmm.
All the colors. Sometimes what I like to do is keep a little mister of water so that I can spritz my palette because the mineral type paints that we use most of the time can start to get dried out, and so if you keep it damp, it can be helpful. Ooh, look at that. That's so pretty.
That's really pretty.
I'm gonna put that right there.
It's creating some natural shading. So as you're going, just pay attention to just step back and take a look as you go. Take a moment, paying attention to the overall composition.
Let's do this one right
Ooh,
here.
I like that. Same color?
Yeah.
I like that.
I love stamping art.
I do too. It's just another tool in your toolbox.
Pretty.
Okay.
Okay, let's do
Let's
some
add
more.
a little.
I've got,
How about this one?
we've got those, and we also have single leaves that we can use. But yeah, let's use those. Ooh, good idea. This one, this one.
This one. This one.
Okay.
I like this one. Okay, just use the same color again.
Now, you'll notice, and you might be thinking, well, why did they go to the trouble of putting the block in? And the reason we did that is because that's giving us contrast. If we were stamping only over the blue, these colors don't stay as true. So it's kind of just giving area of light for these colors then to be able to show on a little better than the...
Exactly. Otherwise, your colors start to get muddy. One of the questions that we get asked often is what kind of paint are you using for what project? For this particular project, we're actually using a mix of paints. We're using a mineral-based type or chalk type paint, as well as some acrylics, and mixing and getting a feel for the different types of paint, how they work, the transparency level, is just going to allow you to choose the paints that you feel work best, especially with wall art type pieces.
I'm so glad I did that on purpose because it's going to add so much to the end piece.
Exactly. And that on purpose?
It's how we roll.
Very good, very good.
I thought so. I made that one up myself. Okay, sweet. We want to put in some dark branches kind of coming out from it. Oh, this is starting to come together so beautifully.
The bird...
Yeah, let's put the bird in first.
Okay, so...
What color ought we have? Do we want to have the bird be a teal or a cobalt blue?
How about this color?
Ooh, I like it. What
Is that too dark? Mix it.
Yeah, let's mix it with this. And that's a cool thing too. I've never had any problem mixing the chalk and mineral paints with acrylic. And of course they do play nicely. And of course that will vary by brand, but I've never had any issue with it. And I've enjoyed mixing my paints.
She's a paint
I've been
mixer.
known to mix now and then a paint cocktail. All the colors. It is so fun working with bold color. Ooh, that's a pretty color.
Pretty. Yes,
that's
I like
so
that
pretty.
a lot.
Very pretty. Okay, so now let's get a dark. I like using pretty much a black.
So here's black, and here's an off black. You decide.
I like the black.
Okay.
Let's get another palette. So, like I said before, think of these as brushes. So for example, I'm going to use a portion of this. I'm not going to use the whole thing because I want to put it in a specific spot. So I'm just going to apply to that portion and hold this part up off of my workspace so that it doesn't stamp the entire thing. And it's easy peasy. And we're just putting this nice black on here. And then this is where the paint ends. I'm just gonna kind of go like that, lay it down. And that doesn't have paint on it. There we go.
Perfect.
Boom, chakalaka laka. And I'm going to actually use this a couple of times because we're gonna have kind of like,
This is so pretty.
right?
I love it.
We're getting that kind of sprawling spray look.
Exactly. Kind of a wild
Yes.
bouquet.
I love these. They're gnarly. Remember gnarly?
From the 80s.
Dude, that dude is so
Gnarly.
gnarly. It's not what I meant, but let's do. Actually, let's do this.
I love it.
Love it.
I didn't know where you were going there. I have to admit, I questioned that decision,
It happens a lot.
but it worked.
Not you questioning it, but me just kind of going rogue and it turning out awesome. I'm just kidding. Okay. Now we can put a few of the little bitty leaves like the ones you just had. Or
On
these
the
ones.
branches.
Yeah, bring them
Little
just
sprigs
right
of
in there.
leafage.
But you know what? I think a couple in black would be pretty.
I'm questioning the decision.
Okay,
But I'm gonna let you go with it. I'm gonna let you go with it.
We've got this kind of mixed media.
It's true.
Floral, but it's kind of a little bit graphic.
Yes, has an abstract feel to it.
Let's do right there.
Is it gonna work?
Oh yes, I think so. You're still questioning.
When it's all done, I think I'll like it.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and put some more green leaves on, right?
Yeah. One thing I love about the Painterly Roses set, is this one's from Painterly Roses or Bird's Branches?
That's Bird's Branches.
Okay, well both sets have so many different types of leaves and shapes of leaves that no matter how large your piece is, it doesn't look repetitive.
Yes, so true. Okay, so we've done our stamping. We might come back in with a little more, but for now, we're going to deepen this by coming in these areas in the floral and with a wash of this darker color that we use. I just diluted some with water and I'm gonna go in
And just
and
adds
kind of add
more interest and character and depth.
just in this center area. And then I'm going to just kind of blend it out. Blend that, bring it out with some water on your brush. Okay, into these outer areas. This is our Kindest Regard stamps. We're gonna go in with a little bit of black.
Just a wee.
And put in some here. Oh, this is gonna look so good! Maybe a little bit in here. This is our rose toile, and we are using a couple of the texty stamps right off of it.
Just so we can get a little bit of a different font and a different weight of the typography.
Yes.
In the piece.
On this tiny text, you go a little bit lighter.
Teeny text.
Teeny text.
I'm small and cute.
And I'm gonna put you, what do you think, right here? No, right here. Oops, I shifted a little.
You shifted a little, I saw that. Shifted. Oh. Yeah, the
Mama
shift
like
doesn't
you.
even show. Like you. Nice.
Okay, I feel like we need to let it dry. And
Let
then,
it dry and then maybe add paint. Did you get paint on my nose?
I didn't, you had it on there. Let it dry, and then we're going to distress it a little and do the inky line technique.
Ooh, inky line.
So now we are going to give it a light distress with a medium sanding block. We're going to get our edges, but we're also going to lightly go over the whole thing just to smooth it a tiny bit for the next step.
I find that this step, the sanding, actually also just melds the colors into each other and it softens them a little bit.
It does. All right, just wipe them off. This next step is one of my favorites, and that is we're gonna get inky with it, with some India ink and a dip pen. First, what we're going to do is do a little bit of scribbly tracey. So you're gonna kind of follow, but not exactly, just loosely. Chosen pieces. And you can get varied line widths with your pressure variation. If you don't press at all, you have a fine line, and then when you press down, it causes you to get a thicker line. So you vary that as you go for visual interest.
Just like in hand lettering. The same techniques.
Yes. Now, I like to get scribble scrabble with it. So,
some scritchy scratchies and
some
scribblies.
scritchy scratchies, some scribbly scrabbles, etc. You don't have to worry about staying inside lines. And just choose elements that you want to do that with. Let's do this little rose and kind of mimic.
So it's not every part. And choosing where you're going to kind of add that in is part of the fun, and it's just whatever you want to do.
Now, let's choose these little red blossoms. Let's make little circles inside. That's a fun little detail. Not all of them, but a couple of them. Let's go around and pop a leaf or two. And again, don't follow it exactly. That's what makes it fun and painterly.
Are you leaving some for me?
It's too fun to share.
She never lets me do anything.
Not true. False.
I get to clean the tools.
Okay, let me do one more thing and then you can.
All right.
Watch that you're not sitting on your ink spot because it's wet, so. So we're going to get a fun little framey technique just using some lines and little blibbles, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now, as well as a little bit of spatter for a fun edgy effect.
Now we're just gonna throw a coat of clear wax on this.
Making sure that your ink has thoroughly dried.
Yes, make sure that ink is dry.
This really pulls the color out and makes it shine. Vibrant and beauteous. Let it set and dry for just about 3 minutes and then give it a quick buff with a clean, dry shop cloth. Now we're going to use a little bit of black wax over the clear wax. So the clear wax is going to help this move so we can go on a little more even without it grabbing. And very lightly, especially at first. You can always go on with more. And we are going to start around the outer edge of that to kind of create a little bit of a vignette depth. And then blend it to the center of each one. And this really adds a richness to the piece. Now we've given a little bit of time to dry, and we are going to buff it one final time. Bring out that classic wax luster. All right, guys, you are done. Just tap a little hanger in the back like we taught you how to do in the previous episodes of the IOD Gallery Wall series, and you are great.
Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos, and the previous IOD Art Gallery wall links will be in the description below. And if you have any questions at all, just leave them in the comments. Okay, guys,
see you next time. Pre-show workout. Where have I heard that before?
mental game.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Finally, some good material. Okay.
We're gonna wax here. Let me wax. Let me wax. From the
Wax on, wax off.
He always says
You
that.
did so awesome, but let's do it again.
I know, that's so... Hair.
All right.
How come the little sister always has to have this?
Okay, okay. No, stop talking.
Say action. Say action. You make it all, you come together, Sean. We trust you. Okay.